to recognize that we're here to just be. You know, there's no rules laid down for us. And that idea of being able to live a life of contentment and to, to like whatever comes along. And I think about the exhilaration and the joy when things are going your way, but the exhilaration and the joy isn't something that you can experience and that you can really know unless you have the opposite, because you don't have anything to contrast it to. And contrast is how we know things. I mean, we wouldn't have a concept of up if we didn't have a concept called down. We wouldn't have a concept of rich if we didn't have one of poor. And we certainly wouldn't have even a concept of life if we didn't have one of death. And so we need both of those extremes in the physical world. I think that one of the great things that we learn as we become more and more enlightened and as we leave our bodies and enter into the next dimension is that, we'll move into a place where there are no dichotomies, where there are no separations, there are no splits. But here in this physical world, there's always that division. And if you can just be in the times when sadness is there, it's like so many calls that we hear, Diane, on this show are about, I'm not getting it. I don't have enough money and not enough stuff is coming in and not, and there's too much shortage and I've got too much lack and I don't know if I'm going to make it through this recession and on and on and on. And you can never really know contentment if you're only going to be content when things are going the way you want them to go. You have to be able to be content when things aren't going as you would like them to go, and to recognize that the sadness that you experience in your life is there to help you to understand what great joy is. And without both of them, you can't have either one of them. Yeah, I think about it even as being a little boy and living in an orphanage and having no parents around me, and now the role that I have in my life as parent and as someone who has accumulated a great deal of, material things, material wealth and so on. I always feel that that absence of it is what has allowed me to appreciate the presence of it and has also allowed me to just not be attached to it. Either way, it's okay. Just as much as the good things that show up in our life, that the struggles, the difficulties, the obstacles, the things, if you can be in that place where you can say, okay, I'm listening. In other words, as you go through the days of your life and you have one idea about how your life should be going and how your bills should be paid and all of these kind of things, and it's all fine, but there's also something bigger that's moving the chess pieces around in your life that is also saying, but here's something for you to deal with over here, or this doesn't. I'm going to be 70 years old in a few weeks, and it's the lesson that I've really learned in my life is that everything that's happening to me, even when I don't like it, and I'm able to look back on it, like I can look back on so many of the difficulties and hardships and lacks that occurred in my life that I now am totally grateful for them and realize I couldn't be where I am had I not gone through those. And that isn't just for the really big things, it's for all of the little things as well. And that's the state, I guess that's the theme of today's show. That's what the turtles seem to be doing. The turtles, that are out there, they're not consumed with, is there enough moss growing on this rock? There should have been more than here, this wasn't here yesterday, or all of these snorkelers out here, why are they there? They just seem to, they just seem to flow with it and be in that state of allowing that most of us are not in. And I think that when you get to that state of being able to just allow and recognize and more than anything, be grateful for the pain that you're going through or the hardship that you're going through. It doesn't mean that you use that as an excuse and just say, okay, I'm just going to give up and not do anything. But it just sort of allows you to internally align yourself with a universe that says, this is what it is. This is what you have to deal with. Deal with it from a place of peace, and peace will be your reward. I always say that, if you have that wand that says, no matter what it is that's going to come down the pike at me, no matter what it is, I'm going to be able to be at peace. And that's, more than anything, is what I think meditation has taught me. To say, no matter what comes my way, no matter what it is that shows up in my life, I'm going to be in a state of peace about it. I'm not going to judge it. I'm going to just allow. I'm going to be in that state of allowing. It doesn't mean you give up on your, getting yourself to be financially independent and all of the kind of things that you're looking to have, but to get rid of that inner kind of angst and anxiety and upset and almost like judgment about it. I just think that there's an energy in the universe that you want to stay connected to, which is one of All things that are showing up in my life are showing up on time. All obstacles that are showing up are not showing up because I'm being singled out and because, things, that I have to be, I'm being punished for or whatever. Everything that's showing up in my life is presented to me by God. It's given to me by God. And I accept that, and I stay in that place. And that makes it puts you in a place where it's easier to just move along. And I think if I were to say I have any goals at all, they would be in that quote that I just gave from Shakespeare. I'm going to give it again. I'm loving that quote today. My crown is in my heart, not on my head, nor decked with diamonds nor Indian stones, nor to be seen. My crown is called content. A crown it is that seldom kings enjoy, that very few people ever enjoy, just being in a state of contentment. And when you are, it's like you can handle anything. Not judging and not saying that it shouldn't be. Whatever it is,